You want to dance?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome one and all to the AstroPub. My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub. Your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. Give me a moment. 2 seconds to just log into my regular PC. I should say my gaming PC. I don't know how you'd be able to see me with my, Oh, shoot, I have to download a new patch. Oh, well, we'll spend some time talking while I download the new patch. It shouldn't be too bad. Hold on. Acknowledge. Hello and welcome. My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub, your space bar at the end of Twitch. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? Is there a YouTube? Yeah, there should be. I have to save it. That's why. I set it as unlisted by accident. New vest? No. So, story. I have a series of vests, which I haven't worn in years because when I got them, they didn't fit me very well. I have lost like 10 pounds. Well, more like almost 20 pounds in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Wow, no. Last 2 months. Life doesn't suck at the moment. That's good to hear. According to my phone, which is somewhere, and I need to find it because it's probably going off and Cam's mad at me. You are Boredom. Hello, Borden. I am Paul. It would be bad. Yeah, it would be very bad. AO leaving Twitch. All right, that's good. That's why I do this on Twitch and YouTube. I took the day off. This is my last day, my last vacation day for the year that I would take off, but I'm done in like a couple weeks. Cam needed to get her new get it setting on my shoulders properly. Cam needed to get renew her driver's license. So I just said, you know what, why don't I take the day off and we'll both get our passports, because we both wanted to get our passports anyways. And so we went out, got our passports handled. So the passports are, the application's in the mail for those who've got a passport before. It takes 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes 8 to 12 weeks for the passports to get processed. So I wanted to get them done ASAP. So even at the extended, 12 weeks, that would still put me in August. Like July or August at this point. So like that's still like several months before I'd have to go. Haven't gotten the hotel yet. I don't have the money. I don't have the money until the 15th. I basically wiped out all of my Twitch funds on the flight alone. The flight was $1,200. Twitch exclusive? No, I'm not leaving Twitch. What are you talking about, Vince? It's on YouTube and Twitch. Buonissimo. So I have Cam's not going to be able to come. That's the bad part. That's why I was able to buy my ticket. Cam's not going to be able to come with us just because the cost of I'd have to double the cost of the flight for Cam to come. So that would be $2,400, which I just do not have that money. I can check it out. Yeah, there should still be plenty around that area. I can ask around and see if anybody's good. But so I got my plane ticket. I'm leaving in the afternoon on the like early afternoon on that Thursday, the 17th, I think. And so I'll arrive early in the morning on Friday. And then I'm leaving on the same kind of early afternoon, like late morning on Tuesday, and arriving at late evening in the United States. Because I'm going back in time. Even though it's like a 14, 15-hour flight, I'm going back in time 6 hours. We'll see. It depends on what's going on with the gala, if I can get gala tickets or not. I'm not going to like bet on getting gala tickets, so. Thank you, Wild Volus. I hope so too. It'll be the first time I've been to the UK in probably 2 decades. I can't remember when I was very small when I last went to the UK. I've only been to, as far as I know, 3 different countries outside the United States. Canada, 4. I think I've been to Mexico as well. Canada, Mexico, Spain, and England. I lived in England and Spain, though. And the United States, so. Still updating. I'm going to go check to see if I can find my phone. I'll be right back. When I come back, we will hopefully be done with the downloads, because downloads going pretty quick. How you doing, Cerberus? I'll be right back. Hold on, I gotta do a cat check. There you are. Alright, need to get my phone. Because if it went off and Cam was sleeping, I get yelled at. Because sometimes it just goes off. Ugh. So it was almost out of power. Here we go. There we go. All right. How y'all doing? How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully good. Masterboards poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses. Dude, I went to studying for a final that then needed 90% on to get a C in the class. Ooh, good luck, buddy. I've been nut before. Is everyone up in arms about fucking master modes? If you want to hear something funny, I am currently gosh. Make sure I'm not good. I'm currently going through all of Anvil Aerospace's history so I can do a special, it's going to be a fucking epically long Anvil Aerospace video. I'm going to try to get that done this weekend. I probably can. I'm like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes away from finishing the video on the Fall of Virgil, which I did it. I'm like, I'm really proud of this. There's no fucking way I'm releasing it anytime soon. I mean, for those of you who are Patreons and members, you'll get that very soon. Part 4 is done, by the way, before anyone fucking asks. Part 4 of the complete history of Star Citizen is finished. I just need to do a review to make sure everything's good. Send any changes back to my editor, who will then be able to kind of fix it. And then it'll be finished. So for those of you who are on Patreon, that'll probably be this weekend, honestly. I'm not even gonna bother. I know everyone's like, why don't you save your character? Because I don't care about what my character looks like in testing. I have an unhealthy addiction to your lore videos, Paul. Keep them coming. Looking forward to the next. Hell, Paul, when does part 5 come out? Probably July. If I can swing it, my goal is to make an absolute fuck ton of videos over this summer, and release absolutely none of them. Because I have noticed a couple of things. The first thing is that, generally speaking, I don't see the vibration. Is it under graphics? I thought it was under game settings. It is under graphics. But when will Part 6 come out? Part 6 will come out when Chris Roberts personally hands me a double dog. Y'all better start calling Chris Roberts. But the reason I was talking about that, all of that, is twofold. One, this summer is going to be fairly... Well, this is pretty good reaction. I mean, a little blurs here and there, but this is actually a really good performance. Hey, Dig Dug. How you doing, buddy? Does a fuck ton of weight loss or more, a fuck ton weigh less than a ton of feathers? A fuck ton is a unit of American metrics. A shit ton is the is metric. Fuck ton is imperial. Yeah. See if it saved any of my armor. I think it did. Yeah, I have to hit I again. That's a weird bug. Armor, arms. So this is one of the things I absolutely hate, and I hope CIG changes this. I have ADP gray, right? ADP gray chest. They have ADP woodland, red, orange, sea green, blue, purple, violet, white, dark red, sienna, dark green, and aqua, and olive. They do not have ADP gray arms, but they sell... Watch this. Gray. Stop it. Holy fuck. Please, Jesus, stop this, CIG. That is absolutely infuriating. There's an argument for it. CIG's argument for it is it forces players to get a full set. They have to move around and get all of them. So the idea is trying to incentivize players to move around. The problem is that players don't care enough. You're assuming that players give a shit, which is a hell of an assumption. Because there's just no reason to give a shit about it that hard. It's weird that you also get legs but not arms. Ugh. I'll look kind of like a weirdo, but it's fine. Ugh, I'm already looking like a weirdo. On me. Weapons. It saved my proper choices. But did not want to equip for some reason. Let's get ammo real quick. Why do I look like that? Because CIG forced me to look like this. I blame CIG for my looks. I don't think the idea of forcing players to go places is a bad idea, necessarily. I think the idea of forcing players to get all of one color is a bad move. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Good purchase.
Football. Utility.
Do you want to dance?
Hey, welcome everyone from Gal's stream. My name is Paul, Berserker1, Batman Shelley. Your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub. Your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? How's 3.23 treat me? It treat me good, actually. So far, so good. Somewhat responsive, decent frames. Show me the lore. Okay, you want to hear something? Because that was what I was also talking about. Like, one of the reasons why I was I'm not going to release a lot of videos, Star Citizen lore videos. I'm going to make a ton, but I'm not going to release them in the summer, is because Star Citizen in general kind of dies off with interest in the summer. And that's not just with Star Citizen, though. That's with just all of the internet. Because the internet tends to not care about online things when it's hot outside.
I love
Because, you know, typically people want to go out and enjoy their their summers with their families, or with their spouses, or go out and have fun in the sun kind of thing. I'm using DX11 right now. This is without Vulcan, because Vulcan was causing some problems earlier. Yeah, they go touch grass, which is in fact wild. So if you're a member or a Patreon, you'll get a ton of videos, me releasing a ton of videos this summer, because I'm hoping to turn that into, like, take the time I'd normally be working for school and turning that into writing and editing, that kind of stuff. So my experience was DX11 was smoother, but that was when they first introduced Vulcan. It may be better. I'm going to test it at live, but for right now, it's just, more better for me. More better. Okay. The other thing I was going to talk about is online is alluding to this. CIG has screwed up the dates so badly for Anvil Aerospace. It's not even funny. Like, they have fundamentally broken the timeline in such weird, tiny ways. And it all has to do with the Hornet. The Hornet has broken everything CIG has done. Because it's clear that the Hornet used to have a different release date, and for the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. They both had different release dates. At least the Mark 1 did, before they told us about the Mark 2. And they changed it.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No BPUs.
But you can never,
ever
take away my space game.
Shadow XO7X has subscribed.
Thank you so much, Shadow, for that Switch Prime sub. You are a very important pupper, very impressive pisser, very pedestrian. This is your fault. These are drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Thank you. I'd much rather go outside in the snow than the hot sun. I don't understand liking summer personally. I don't either, but I'm a large dude with a lot of German and Scandinavian heritage. German, Scandinavian, and British heritage. So my ancestors were indistinguishable from bears in terms of how much hair they had. I know. I got their genetics. You think this is just me? No. I have to shave every day all over here to get to so you can actually see my skin. This is a constant battle. But yeah, for some reason people like hanging out and doing stuff in the summer, which is a weird concept to me. But yeah, Anvil has fundamental. So to give you an example, the two examples that I found so far are the Valkyrie mentions in its lore that it was built in, it was first came up with, it first kind of conceived of in 2802. And it says specifically that the reason why they came up with it in 2802 is because they had a absolute shit ton of money from selling the Hornet. So they just had an ungodly amount of money. And they're like, let's do something different. Let's,
Your vehicle has please visit us again.
Be sure to check the departure and arrival boards, conveniently located throughout the
here for. Okay. So, they had absolutely a lot of money, and so they take the Valkyrie. They go to this supercomputer, and they ask this supercomputer, which the restraint that they had of not calling it deep think or deep thought is impressive from the devs, but from the writers. But they asked the supercomputer to basically predict to them what would the UE need that was military related, but not a combat ship. And they had to wait for months to get in for this. And eventually it got spat out to them saying, hey, yeah, you need the UE's probably going to want to retake the Vanduul systems, and they have no mid to short range transport for troops and equipment. So they're going to need one of those. And so they developed a mid to short range transport that we know as the Valkyrie. And when they did, they ended up when they did, they ended up, you know, building the whole thing, and then the UEE came around in 10, and say, hey, we need a mid to short range personnel and troop transport, and Anvil was like, we've already made it and tested it. We knew you would say that because we're psychics. And they got sold in 2812. Interesting story, right? Now here's the problem. The Hornet didn't come out until... Let me get this. There we go. The Hornet didn't come out until 2806. So somehow Anvil went back in time like 4 years, and gave themselves money from a ship they hadn't made yet or sold to the UEE to fund a research project that they would then turn into a ship before they, only a few years after they finished releasing the Hornet. That's one. That is fucking one. It happens twice. The second time it happens is, we've all seen the Squadron 42 video, right? Fantastic, amazing. That fucking intro, the pipes, they still speak to me in my dreams. It is wonderful. Mwah. Only one note problem, one small problem. That takes place during the Battle of Vega 2, which is in October 2945. Big date, been mentioned a lot of times in lore. It is a huge turning point. It's the reason why the UE ended up going to war with the Vanduul, and why the events of Squadron 42 happened. It's part of the events of Squadron 42. Here's the problem. In that trailer, we see 2 Hornet Mark IIs. October 2945, all right? Take that in your mind. It wasn't built until 2946. So somehow, 2 ships, which didn't exist yet, traveled a year, maybe let's just be generous, 3 months back in time to be part of the Battle of Vega 2.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Anvil Aerospace is run by Doc Brown. That's the only explanation I have. I will accept no other explanation for these discrepancies. 2946 is what I said. I meant to say. Prototypes? You throw a prototype in the frontline service? It'd be one thing if it happened once and it's a couple of months. It's like, yeah, you know, I could see that. But like twice, both with the Hornet, I'm sus. I'm 100% sus. The Hornet was made by Doc Brown. Hornets are actually the DeLoreans. That's the answer. Occam's razor. All right. No, those are definitely Mark IIs. If you look at the video and then you look at the comparison to the Mark I's that we know of, yeah, they're Mark IIs. Yeah, but the Perseus was still around in the Battle of Vega. It would be as if the Polaris showed up at the Battle of Vega. The Polaris wasn't even like kickstarted, wasn't even greenlit to be produced until after the Battle of Vega to be contact for that kind of stuff. I'm glad I'm depriving you of sleep, Chris. Just going to come and say congrats on your ticket secured. And I hear that you're talking about the Hornet date to Chris Ramsey's after I read your Spectrum post. Oh, and this is only twice. I've discovered this twice in Anvil lore. I'm gonna find it again. I know I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna find them referencing in Anvil lore some dumb fucking date discrepancy. It is stupid. It doesn't matter. They're dates that are so easily changed because it's the lore. It's not set in stone yet. It's just like, we fucked up and changed things around and things change. Star Citizen isn't a complete game yet. Anything that's happening right now is alpha. So dates changing doesn't change the themes and the plots and that kind of stuff that much. Either way, no matter what about the Battle of Vega thing, it needs to be referenced, because if there's Mark IIs at that battle, there needs to be an explanation. Like, the CIG needs to come out and explain it. Or they can just move the date back 2 years to 2944. Wouldn't break anything. There's nothing fancy about the date 2946, except for the fact that it's a year after. Unless it was the reason why they did it was because of the attack on Vega. The Occam's razor answer is Anvil marketing flax changed the records to sound cool without regard for consistency. That's very Drake thing, honestly. Yes, I have to help. I'm gonna help Execute raise some money. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll do something to help raise money, because X doesn't have a lot of cash, and I need to help out. Are you calling Dr. Emmett Brown stupid? I would never. I would never. But I am 100% going to, if CIG doesn't, because, like, as of right now, I'm going to check right now. As of me recording this right now, as of me live streaming this, there are 32 upvotes for the thread. And 14 replies. It's been up there for about a day and a half. If by the end of this week they haven't responded to this at all, my only response is going to be adding all of these date consistencies to the end of the Anvil lore video, being like, I love Anvil. There's some really cool lore. It's really good storytelling. I like the themes that they put in there. Like, all the ships are really cool and how they came about, especially the Gladiator. But Jesus fucking Christ, CIG, take another pass at the dates. There's some wrong ones, and I'm gonna come up with a conclusion that, in fact, the real creator, we don't know who created the Hornet. We don't know the designer of the Hornet's name. So I'm going to say it was Dr. Emmett Brown, because that's the only way it shows up. It funds projects before it exists. It existed and fought a battle before it existed. And again, to be absolutely consistent about all of this, I don't really care all that much about it. It's not something that's so vital it needs to be changed right now. I just think it's fucking hilarious. Hey, tomorrow, right? No, next week, isn't it? It's next Thursday, right? We're doing that. We're doing a podcast. Beyond the Verse, by the way. Can we get a follow command from Beyond the Verse? I love you. But yes, I have secured the tickets. I traveled up. I traveled to the to passport office to get my passports done. So, hey, happy Rob. Leonard Case didn't die in 2615. He simply traveled to the future. Is J. Harris Arnold just Leonard Case in a mustache? Oh, I amuse myself too much. I am such a fucking nerd. I can't even deny it anymore. I'm also an idiot. No, there's no time travel in Star Citizen. There is a really funny element about a guy a super genius who thought he'd solved the problem of faster than light travel and decided that because everyone else was trying to steal his work, that he would test his incredibly experimental faster than light drive on a very public exposition himself. And he said something to the effect of, I now present you the future. And then there's this blinding light and pieces of the ship flew everywhere. Thank you for boning my my Spectrum post, Shimpasta. Yeah, he was literally never seen again. The theory that I always like is that he had actually worked, but he has no way of going back. Wherever he end up, he has no way of going back. Do you think the price of the players will go up now? Yes, almost certainly. No, then again, I've said that in the past, and it's not happened. CIG has been very hesitant, restrained, I guess is the best word. Been very restrained on their price changes. So the shields weren't booting up. Oh, they're not booting up because I'm in nav mode. Why isn't my shield booting up? Because I'm an idiot. All right. So contracts. So we're going to head to...
You can take away my spaceship.
Hurston.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit!
You can
Hey!
even take away my space lasers.
No, time
never,
dilatation's not going to be insane in Star
ever
Citizen.
take away my space game.
I have to do this because otherwise it'll go forever.
My space suit.
Thank you so much for gifting those 5 memberships to Fred, Chris, Wobbly Bear, Ryoshima, and Alan Ocha there beyond the verse. Thank you, Solus, for those gifts. Welcome, everybody. You're all very important puppers, very impressive pistons, very pedestrians. This is your fault. The resume drinking night. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers.
Drinks all around!
Let's party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. Come on and put your lips together. Blow the candle out. Party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. I wanna make you feel real special. Put your name in lights. We are gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Blow the candle out.
Hull Runner just got a sub from the _A_ Paladin. The _A_ Paladin gifted a tier 1 sub to Hull Runner.
Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Hull Runner there. Paladin, you're a very important pupper, very impressive pisser, very pedestrian. This is your fault. The reason I'm drinking night. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Sorry for that slow response. My eyelids are losing the battle against gravity. It's okay if you want to go to bed. Y'all bet. My pleasure. Paul deserves all of. Thank you, my man. How are you enjoying this warm taint of a weather we've been having here there, Solus? I love walking outside and feeling like I'm drowning. Drowning and burning at the same time. I feel like I've been walked into an oven. Fuck you, Jin. Listen, I used the little time we had, not raining, to like mow most of my lawn. I just ran out of battery power before I get all of it done. You see the AI spawned Javelin in the PTU has a Redeemer stored in it, and the bay door actually opens up now. I've heard things about that. I saw someone posting something about that. CIG avoids it by having interstellar travel via wormhole. Technically, we should see time dilations when using quantum drives. They're a reasonable percent of C, but any effects would be moot in regards to the gameplay or mechanics. Yeah. Because in theory, the highest the quantum drive speed is 0.2c. I know right now they're higher than 0.2c in some cases, but that's I think that has to do more with CIG dialing things in. But as far as I know, that's still the goal, was that the highest speed you can go is 0.2c in Star Citizen. I watched my 16-year-old mow the grass today. Return on investment. Hey, where do you get that helmet originally from? It's from Amazon. You can find it in it's like a Party City thing. Like any kind of costume shop has them. They're pretty common. Looking for spaceman helmet, toy helmets. I think some of those astronaut costumes sets come with them. Okay, let's see if we have any. Let's go work for the enemy. In reference to the jump points, is there an explanation as to why they appear in systems and link to other systems? There's a couple of references.
You can take away my spaceship.
Very sparing.
You can take away my space suit.
It has to do with
You
gravity.
can even take away my space lasers. But you can never,
And
ever
gas
take away my
giants.
space game.
Shinobi Trip _ just resubscribed for 15 months. 07.
Thank you so
How
much,
stable
Shinobi.
is the current EPTU?
Thank you so much for that 15 months of support. You're very important, Papa. Very impressive, very pedestrian. This is your fault. There's no trick. Shouts and cheers and chat. Y'all shouts and cheers. How's it stable? It's good. I've only been on for a couple of minutes, but it's been good performance. I've not seen much, if any, sort of drops in performance, and there's not been any crashes. So. Hashtag Amazon. Of course it is. It was bad earlier. Yeah, but I saw that you say that. In reference to the jump points, is there any explanation as to why they appear in systems and link to other systems? Seems too convenient to be random space anomalies. There is no. If you're asking if there are, if it's like if you're asking if it was like man-made or naturally, or like they're naturally forming, they seem to be naturally forming. They also collapse on their own, but it has a lot to do with gravitational. There's a mention in the lore of Terra that the reason why Terra has so many jump points is because it only has 4 planets and no gas giants. And so systems that have limited to no gas giants tend to have more jump points than systems that don't, which is why ice giants and gas giants, which is why something like Sol only has 2 jump points, because it has so many, there's so much gravitational forces at play. We do know that there are holes through a dimension called interspace, which is sort of like a smaller dimension that sits below, on top of, or below, somewhere around our dimension, within our dimension, I guess. It's how our quantum entanglement bullshit, regen Ibrahim sphere stuff, how that works is you're connected through a link through interspace. So it doesn't ever break because interspace is kind of like a smaller dimension that's just outside of our own that connects to different points of ours. Pyra only has one gas giant. Then again, that is also old lore. That was written, that's like OG, like original, before they started doing any of the corrections, so.
Dem biddies.
Thank you for putting up with my law questions. I was thinking jump points were left over from a precursor race.
CIG has said specifically, thank you for the biddies, by the way. CIG specifically said that they wanted to stay away from precursor races because they don't want to tell that kind of story. But it's definitely been a you're not the first person to think something like that, so. Forgot that you go so slow now. Now I'm gonna hit the air brakes. This is really beautiful. I really like the lighting pass they did is great. This is fantastically. This looks really, really good, actually. Yes, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm on EPTU. I am going to CitizenCon. Yes. It's the first frame drop I've had. I do think there's some parts that haven't spawned in yet.
Dem biddies.
Hey, can I ask for a favor? I have a bone. In the new 3.23 patch notes note section that I would like to get up, but need more votes. Please UP vote so I can get it up.
Sure.
Please, THX.
Sure, no problem. We'll help you get it up. You know, they have a pill for that. Post it in the chat. Post it in the chat. Or I can try to talk dirty to you. That might help. Okay, boys, where you at? Where is the enemy? The enemy is not here. Sounds like a lot of fires going on, too. Loading. Okay. First off, I thought they weren't very responsive. They are a little responsive. I think they're intentionally stupid because this is a level 1 mission. You fucking, why do you have gallant weapons when you have a fucking... That's so stupid. Motherfucker's a detox pen. Still security outfit.
Do you want to dance?
Oh, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome everyone from Locan Street. My name is Paul Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? What are we up to there, Locan? Some EPTU. Please tell me you have actual ammo.
Good news,
How the heck
everyone!
do you have 2 custodians? 2 custodians and no ammo. I hate that I have to do this. Alright, now where's my good helmets? You don't have the good helmet. He doesn't have the good helmet either, but I'll take that in. Take that for now. I like how I've stripped the... He doesn't have the good helmet. What happened to the helmets? My boys, what did you... Where did your helmets go? You had the good helmets. You had the good shit. What happened to your good shit? I'll head out. Oh yeah, shift click does work. I'm just old and enfeeble and slow. I like doing things the hard way, hence why I'm a historian. God, look away from now. I see dead bodies everywhere. You're welcome. Yeah, you can actually swap between. You can do it before. You can hit the little. There's a little like arrow button that'll let you swap between them. Good FPS, bad FPS. This has been my experience with it so far. Is that there's a lot of good stuff added, and then there's a lot of stuff like this. Now, here's the thing. This might be a controversial take. This FPS garbage and these things not spawning, not a reason to not release the patch. Let's be honest, it's not like we haven't seen something like that before. These are just little janky pieces of the puzzle, which will get ironed out eventually. Stuck in the past, eh? Yep. Partials, pull them out. If you want to go to the new UI, you click that, and now it has all my UI here. I can go back to the old UI. It's like that. But the one thing you have to do is you have to hit I when you're leaving. So. Don't worry, y'all. We did it, Patrick. We saved the city. Leaving private property. Nope, it's still in EPTU. Thankfully. I'm glad they spent a little bit more time to let it cook, to give it a little bit more time with people to get their hands on it, to break it a little bit, but I do think it's probably time for it to go. It's time for it to get pushed. The fact that it's not that different from live servers, but it's got better UI and generally it performs a little bit better overall, good sign. That doesn't mean, like anything, and this is just my general rule of thumb, if you really want to enjoy something, never play it on day one. I am absolutely positively hyped for Space Marine 2 to come out. That game is going to be incredibly up my alley. 100%. I will probably enjoy it and I'll probably recommend it. I will also not recommend you play it on day one because it'll probably break. Does it feel better to fly? It feels about the same. Maybe a little bit better. Aimless, I'm going to tell you the secret. CIG works through the night often. It sucks. I hate it when they do that, but CIG also, as far as my experience, never forces overtime. It's like, if you want to do it, we'll pay you extra, but you don't have to. You can
take away my space lasers, but you can never.
And they usually want to, because they want to fix it.
Take away my space game.
Onikaji just resubscribed for 4 months.
Thank you so much for that 4 months of support there, Onikaji. You're a very important public, very impressive, very any pedestrian. This is your fault. You're drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. DJ is always watching. I'm sure. I'm also pretty fucking sure that that Yogi doesn't know the word sleep. Actually, they're doing what they're doing is my dream job. Specialty vehicle team. Hope they live for it and are happy. I'm sure they are. You get the feeling that CIG really wants to get it out tomorrow. I think CIG wants to get it out this weekend. They really do. But I also know that CIG won't. In the past, they haven't pushed something if it isn't absolutely ready by their own standards. I'll give them credit for that. They 100% will not push something if they think it is not ready by their own standards. Was I in... I thought I was in faster mode. I was. Okay. Infamous Friday patch? If it is, again, I always say, you know, try to be careful with it, because they'll do hot fixes and fixes throughout it, but eliminate Nest of Copian. Maintenance. Investigation. Kovalex Distribution Center. Let's head there. There, it popped up. I do like the change in color a little bit. It's a nice change. I still think you want to have some ability to customize that, but it's nice, for sure. Just imagine our Star Citizen with RTX on. Sure, the frame would be abysmal, but just imagine how shiny the statues would be. We'll take a look. There were some issues I had early on. The last time I played it over the weekend, but. So what are the entity graph fixes that they're working on? Well, entity graph tends to be their back-end services thing that they use. I'm not an expert on that, so I don't know a lot about how that works. I have a basic understanding. I don't know what fixes they may be working on. It may be the stuff that was causing the problems for 3.18, but I don't know what you're referencing when it comes to entity graph fixes. More intensive, like, clear-out missions would be fantastic. Yeah, they actually mentioned it on SCL. A lot of people didn't catch that, but yeah, they're making a horde mode. And I said, if they actually make that horde mode, I will not fucking leave it. Like Pub and Plays Fridays will be just me, Loken and I playing, jumping between freaking Helldivers and Star Citizen Arena Commander Horde mode for a while. So it's not too bad right now. Doesn't seem to be anybody up here. There's that pad, and I think there's another one over here. I think this one's slightly bigger. I am not touching that, which is good. I'm not going out the back, though. Yeah, we've got horde mode with Vandal Swarm, but I mean, like FPS horde mode. That's something I've been wanting for a while. Because I'm a decent fighter pilot. I'm not an amazing fighter pilot, but being able to like swap out between those two would be really good. So far, performance is okay. I don't have absolute dog shit performance. Like last time when I went out in this area, the performance just dropped. And then when I got in here, it improved a little bit, and then it just dropped again. Little stutters here and there, but I think it's just them loading in. These are all lit up the same way, which is neat. Why is that 600 micrometers away? Oh, it's 600 micrometers. No, it's not here. Not here. Hey. Nope, nothing here. So far, so good. A little bit of hitches here and there, but not unplayable. It's always the last place to check. Got me that last place over there. Neat, right? I am trapped, though. There we go. It's also not updating, so it may not be... I haven't tried mining at all. There's another point over here that I saw something on the way back. It's over here. There he is. Wait for it to catch up. Just a dead guy in the vent. Please send, CIG. Please send. It depends on his IVS score. Or if he had an imprint at all. He may not have an imprint. They're not necessarily common everywhere. They're common, but they're expensive, so. The fact that, like, Hurston has mandatory imprints for the entire population is seen as kind of odd. Yeah, none of the other investigation points, like, changed. Looks like he hit some sort of electric wiring and fried himself. Look right there. All right, I'm gonna head back out and head back in. Yeah, sometimes getting the body back can help a little bit. Those are beds. Can we get in them? Oh, we can. Good night, chat. What? Good night. I'm just going to chill here for now. No logout option. Office hours now. You get advertisements in the shitter on the 3 seashells. It's acetaminophen. I'm going to head back out to the landing pad and then try to come back in. Howdy. Seems like we have the same mission, partner. It's entirely bugged for me, but I can show you where it is. Come with me. It's right over here. Follow the green marker. I know where the guy is. I'm like 90% sure he's this way. It was either this way or the other way. I couldn't remember which. He's the other way. He's this way. My bad. Over here. Right up there. See if you can have better luck than I did. You just tap F, but it's not been working for me. Listen, GQ, don't fucking blow my cover, man. You would think regeneration would be tied to your biometric data. You get flatline, regeneration kicks in. That's how it works. Didn't work for you? Yeah, I think the server's kind of busted. I'm going to try it again. I tried walking out and walking back in, but that's definitely your guy, right? Because that says an investigation point for me. Yeah, maybe flying out and flying back in to reset it might help. I'm going to try one more time. Yeah, I think the server's just kind of freaking out right now. The heck? Yeah, server FPS is not bad. It's like 7. High FPS too. Hey Celine, how you doing? Thanks for coming on the captain's table Saturday. It was pretty fun. If you want me to show you off, I'll show off the rest of the mission, the rest of the area for you, chat. Come with me. And you'll see a world of pure imagination. Glad I brought some fun to it. Just got left VKB Space Gunfighter took a vow to never fly coupled again. God help us all. Yeah, just follow me down here. Oh, yeah, I saw that. A magical alien artifact we don't fully understand that we stole from the Vandal, no less. That updates your mental engram constantly beyond space and time as long as you are alive. I find it fun, interesting, and 100% something humans would do. We have no idea how this works or why it works. And it comes from a strange species. But it brings you back from the dead, so we're going to use it. I'm cool with the outpost they have right now, though I do agree that a jump town like mission with NPCs as a spoiler. I think the server's just kind of bunked right now. Might just be these ones need a little bit more. Hey, listen, if it works, it works. Don't question. Oh, he's in the 400. Good choice. Oh, a bit nipply here on Hurston. Negative 10C. It is, in fact, covered by your space insurance. It's expensive. Hell of a copay, but it is, in fact, covered. Just don't get regened out of network, Radar Echo. That's bad times. My American friends will get that. Oh, sadly. Sadly, you all get that. But just so you know, Radar, I did buy the ticket last night, so I have my tickets for travel, and I have my my passport is in processing. So. It'll be interesting to see all of y'all there. And for those of you who are wondering, some other good news. This is not a new vest. This is, in fact, an old vest that my wife gave me. My birthday 2 years ago, I think. The reason I haven't been wearing them is because I don't fit in them. But I have lost 20 pounds over the last 2 months, so I fit in them now. What's my secret? Kiko. Eat less, move more. One of the things that's helped me out, and this is going to look weird, but these just sit by my desk. And if I'm like waiting for something to render, or if I'm just browsing something, I'm watching like a YouTube video, I'll just do this. You know? 10 or so reps every so often. And I'm a teacher, so I walk a lot. So I'm up and moving a lot more often, so. But I just cut down the jungle that is my backyard because I haven't been able to mow the lawn, because every time I went to go mow the lawn, it's rained. So I just cut down all of that, most of it, recently. And so I have 10,000 steps and about 190 active minutes. It reminds me I gotta log some stuff. Vest now fits. Good. Vest now fits. Bad. Shirt sleeves splitting. To give you an idea, I ate a lot of food today. I went way over my limit because Cam and I were going out and doing stuff. So we're just like, yeah, we'll have a little bit of an off day. It's okay to have that. But because of my exercise, I ended up under 747 calories. My net is like less than 1,200 calories today. I have well over 2,000 calories in food from today alone. I've been trying to lose another 10 pounds, so I started training for a marathon. But I've gained weight because I guess you retain more water when training for a marathon. Yeah, water is a big thing. Muscle as well. But it's you gotta check your like body fat as well. Junk food, really. We went out and I got like a breakfast burrito in the morning. For lunch, we went to go get to Whataburger because we haven't been to Whataburger in forever. We generally don't eat out anymore. Over the last month, we just didn't eat anything. Well, we didn't eat anything. That's my secret. We didn't go out at all for food, except for like we went on a date to go. We watched the Spy Family movie came out. Cam was like, "Oh, I want to see this." I'm like, "Let's go see it together." So that was like the only time we went out to go get food. And so we've kept most of our food in kind of what we make. For lunch, we went to go get Whataburger, and then I think we had Panda Express for dinner. So big unhealthy foods, but still like 2,800 calories, which is a lot even for me. And still, that's according to my fitness trackers and everything like that. It's like, yeah, you burned like 5,000. 6,000 calories today I burned from doing all the stuff I was doing. Whataburger's good. It's good eating. To that. Let's do a daring maneuver and see if we go through through the planet. Yeah, thanks, Ken. It's I wouldn't have been able to go without the community. Honestly, thanks to Radar Echo and then the rest of the community who's donated a ton of money and helped me out a lot with doing my subathons and stuff like that. So I will now be able to go afford board and have enough money left over to go do other fun stuff too. So. Try making your own burgers. Burgers aren't necessarily bad for you. Making your own burgers you can control a lot more of the calories and stuff like that, and you can add healthy stuff to burgers. When Cam and I, when we had burgers, we felt like burgers. We actually have, burger meat. Make a burger. We have buns. And put like it's like, oh, we'll do burgers this week. So get burger meat. We make it little buns, little balls, and fry them up in a just a stovetop. Just like a pan. Yeah, coconut oil can work. We get like tomato, a fresh tomato, cut it up, but use that. Yeah, you can choose whatever grease level you want to set it at, and just weigh it afterwards. And I know I need to be careful with oil and white buns. Then get wheat buns. They exist. It's a matter of not necessarily stopping old habits entirely, but learning to adapt your old habits to new habits. And it's not easy. It's fucking not easy. It sucks ass. But for me, it was my father passed away at the end of last year, and now he died of a stroke, so it had nothing to do with like health or anything like that. But I also know that like it made me realize like, you know, I need to lose weight. I can't do this, you know? Because my father had been overweight for most of his life, so. Hey.
Drinks all around.
Let's party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. Come on and put your lips together. Blow the candle out. Party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. I wanna make you feel real special. Put your name in lights. We are gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Blow the candle out.
Magoose just got a sub from X_Radarecho.
Hey.
X_Radarecho gifted a tier 1 sub to Magoose.
Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Magoose. You're both very important puppets, very impressive pictures of any pedestrians. This is your fault. There's one good night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Yeah. It was very sudden. He died very suddenly. Honestly, it's how Dad would have wanted to go. He wouldn't have wanted to languish and die, kind of stuff like that. Him going quickly was probably his, you know, his sort of way of going. Because he didn't like watching his mother, my grandmother, pass away. It's like languishing like she did. So, but a lot of that, it was motivating for me to do a lot of things. Like I realized how much I just hadn't spent time with my family and wanted to, and it was the process of doing so when my dad passed away. So I had a chance to like show him show him stuff, and you know see him again. But I need to get healthy. You know, I just need to get healthy. I need to get healthy for myself, for my wife, and for future children, and you know, for life in general. It's one of those things I've always wanted to do. Yeah, up in the right corner, there's right there is the old armistice icon. I don't think so. I think it'll stay on there. Oh, they are very, very loud. Hey, boys. Welcome to the party, pal. Nope, 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 nope. Fuck, where did you come from? Did I get him? I got him. I got him, chat. Don't you dare fucking try to do that shit on me. Come here.
Done. So we best search high and low to find him.
Shit, they got a Carnus. Of course, he doesn't have his own fucking ammo on him. Alright, where are the good helmets? Where is Becky with the good helmets? Why does Becky with the bad helmets only show up on a fucking wanted him here? The exaggerated death wheezing is pretty funny, especially since you know that this is all just copied in from Squadron. One of my favorite things is the is that when you shoot them in the dick, the way that they die is they cup their balls and then slowly fall to the ground. I don't feel bad for you. I'll step on your corpse. I will step on your corpse all day long. Let's get out of here. Is there a spawn closet over here? I just did not see him. He was probably there. I just didn't see him. Well, he's on Xenothreat. This is Ninetales. How's the patch performing? Fairly good. There's still some bugs, but it's like typical typical mission bugs not functioning, and it's mostly on the new locations. The distribution centers. Well, I'm sure those will get fixed. I do hope that they prioritize some of that, because it's kind of like, why isn't the basics working? I wanted to check out the AI, and the AI is a lot more responsive. I mean, I'm not on a crazy FPS server. I'm on an 8 FPS server, but they're doing a little bit more. They're doing a little bit more work. Yeah, the frames only happen on the exterior of the bunkers, though. It's a consistent thing that it's just around the bunkers, so I'm sure it's like a bug of some kind. Yep. This is gonna sound weird, but that's not a reason not to release the patch. That's stuff we already have in 3.2 3.22. And I think CIG's I would assume that CIG's priority right now is getting this patch out the door. When have the basics ever worked in Star Citizen? 3.23, 2.6.3? 263? Yeah, 263. That's when the last time it worked. All the basics worked. Yep, so they can get 3.23.1 and 2 and maybe 3 or 4 done. Almost certainly, once they get 3.23 out, the next big step is, after 2.3 is out, is 4.0. That's very much what CIG is pushing for. And I would be very surprised if 4.0 is anything more than just server meshing and pyro. Based off of what I could see from the monthly reports, it feels like it's going to be server meshing, pyro, and resource distribution. Like the resource system. Oh yeah, after the 3.23x, there's not going to be a 3.24. It'll be 4.0. Yeah, that's the shitty part. Like Invictus is definitely, they definitely got to get an Invictus patch out. I think that's definitely a concern. I am very surprised that CIG seems to be resisting that right away, but I'm sure it's because they want to have the patch at a certain level before they feel good for pulling the trigger. There may be some stuff behind the scenes that they're just not working properly that they need to kind of go over. So ePTU testing, I think we will see more server meshing testing right after Invictus. June, first week, second week of June, almost certainly we will see Invictus server meshing testing, another round. And I think once 3.23.2 comes out, I think Evocati will probably start getting 4.0 maybe late July, early August would be my guess. And then maybe they've done this in the past where they'll do like very surface testing. They'll send out like an Evocati patch that is literally just one thing. So like they may have an Evocati patch that is just server meshing and like it's like server meshing and pyro and jump points, and that's it. Like nothing's fancy. It's like 4.0 bare bones. At this point, 9 days from ILW, they may as well hold off until ILW's release. They have to release ILW in they have to release and test the ILW stuff, because there is event stuff for ILW which is different from 3.23. It's for a myriad of reasons, but including so that people don't spoil what the new vehicles are. They have to release a new patch for it, and it's typically a .x patch. At this point, I would doubt that we're going to see modularity in the Retaliator out. I think they'll talk about the Retaliator and the modularity, and they'll say it'll come out in 3.23.2. Yeah, I could see 4.0 being an Evocati for like a month in like August. And then September, we might get Wave 1. Late September, mid-late September. Did they confirm Polaris interior? Okay, yeah. I haven't seen anything, but I don't think we're going to see it. Was wish casting. Try to put it out. Those vibes out in the universe so they come back at you, right? Yeah, Polaris flyby, though. All right. I'm definitely going to have to change how I do the OM marker real quick, just so I have the better attempt. Hey, Moria. What was funny is that there was a comment on something that I said something to the effect of that Polaris needs to have engineering to come out, and someone was insistent that I was wrong. Like, there's no reason that the Polaris needs engineering or resource management to come out. And that's like my sweet summer child, my baby, you wonderful, wonderful, innocent being. It definitely needs, like, that's one of the reasons why they've been holding off on capital ships, is because A, they couldn't run them, and B, without like better performance for like servers and server meshing and more players in general. But also they want to have, you know, stuff for people to do in their ships. I understand that, but here's the question. Velocity, would you be willing to give them their toys if it would delay the full release of those toys to function as it's supposed to be at launch by several months to a year? Would you want to give people the Polaris now, only for the ship to completely break and change in a year or two? Or would you rather give it to them in 6 months, the way it's going to be, so that they can play the game the way that it's supposed to be? I think it's not that many. It's got, I want to say 3 seats in the front. And then it's got 4 guns, 5 guns, plus a torpedo operator. I mean, do you like the Reclaimer currently? Is the Reclaimer unwieldy and it have issues? Because I think it does.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
I'm a Star Citizen. Just started this week with a friend. Are you a mainly Star Citizen streamer? How long have you been playing? Let me see. Tame. Hello, my name is Paul, Berserker01 Batman Shelley. This is gonna sound weird. I've been streaming Star Citizen since before Star Citizen had the PU. I've been part of the community for 10 years as of this year, as of August. And I've been streaming Star Citizen as of 8 years as of June. So I do mostly stream Star Citizen. I do stream other games, but yes, I do stream other Star Citizen. I have a podcast that I've been going. It's the second oldest podcast in the game, in the community. It's been going for about 8 years now. 8 years now, since 2016. I run another channel called The Astro Historian, where I cover a lot of different lore of other games, but mostly Star Citizen as well. He started yesterday. Shut up, Helgren. To give you context, I was 27 when I got Star Citizen, and that was 10 years ago. But yeah, if you have any questions about the game, let me or anybody in the chat know. We'll be able to do our best to help. Hopefully, you and your friend are enjoying your experience. Understand that it's an alpha and there's going to be a lot of problems, but you also understand something that Star Citizen fans are hype vampires. We are amazement vampires. So we love to see new players experience the game, because when they experience the game for the first time, it reminds us why we like the game. When you have old grizzled vets like myself who's been around the game for so long and seen all of the bugs and all of the problems, we tend to get jaded really, really easily. I've done everything in the game 4 times by this point. Very little is new to me, and every patch is interesting, but you get burned out on it really quickly. So when a new person comes in and they're amazed about things like the EVA system or mining or FPS combat, or it's always like. Yeah, that's right. This isn't in every single game we play, is it? So, lost a vulture of gold yet today because of a 30K? Those tends to happen. And Star Citizen can be very, very frustrating. It can be downright depressing at times, but if you can get through some of the bugs, there's a lot to like about Star Citizen. It's in the... Is that it? Is that all you have for me, Everest? I think there's some 30K. 30K should be a thing of the past with this patch. Quite honestly.
Take a look around. We got a pretty good selection.
Just clothing? Do you not sell the drink of the gods? Does nobody in this station... Is nobody in this station a fucking civilized human being? What the fuck is this? The salvage gun is in? Hold up. Nobody told me the salvage gun was in. Nice. So the salvage rifle is in. No cruise, but... Oh, cargo center. Right, the cargo center. That's where all of the civilized human beings go. Thanks you for telling me, Johnny Macaroni. Hooligans. You absolute hooligans. It was a long thing where I was scavenging with the ship. He was sent into a bunker, got killed. I traveled to heal him. Medpen wasn't working. Then I also died. And we were getting back to the hangar. We got 30K'd. Tame Weevil. That's an experience. As I like to say, sometimes you play Star Citizen, and sometimes Star Citizen plays you. You got played by Star Citizen. That's what happened. This game is beautiful, and it's still amazing to me. Though flying over cities has been a lot of fun. You find what you can find with Star Citizen. Just know that the patch I'm playing right now is 3.23 PTU.
Try the
and
cargo terminal.
As you can see, there's still lots of problems. But as you can also see, the top left is the new mini map. There's a bunch of new cool stuff. So you came in at a good time. Basically, everything you've learned up to this point is about to be mostly incorrect. Most of the stuff is still the same. By the way, a little neat trick if you want to surprise your friends there, Tame Weevil, and for anybody who's new. Default action when you have a drink in your hand is drink. So when you have a drink in your hand, left click and hold down the click. Hopefully it'll be this week. Well, not wearing a helmet. That's true. That is true. Well, we're not wearing a helmet. Well, if you do have a helmet, the default action is place, I think. Yeah, they did. It's just a fun part. I've been beaming people with empty cans all day. Every time I have a chance to. In fact. You don't jump over me like that. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, buddy. Why'd they go through you? It is Wednesday right now. Today is Wednesday, unless I'm going crazy. So it's not coming out today, but it should be coming out soon. Are you sure you're a bartender? You have terrible aim. When did having good aim become a requirement for bartending?
Vehicle retrieval system.
I mean, other than like, you know, pouring glasses. Greetings from Bavaria, Germany. Welcome. CK, what fucking time is it there? Like, piss ass early in the morning, like 4 in the morning, CK? Yeah. Oof. Right, I'm gonna store this. I'm gonna go get some more water.
Please visit us again.
And then I'm going to go grab myself, go get some water, and then we'll try a little bit of the Pirate Swarm again. I'd like to try that. Question: is there going to be some kind of armistice for medical players similar to real life? I'm kind of tired of getting attacked when responding to med beacons. Shouldn't it require a trauma team to come to anyone's aid? Shouldn't require a trauma team to come to anyone's aid. I think there's going to be a reputation level. Not necessarily an armistice, but like a reputation system. So if you are being... if people are using a medical beacon as a ruse to get people in there, they'll have a negative rep. So... Thank you, Time Weevil, or Tame Weevil. Welcome to the AstroPub, and welcome to the verse. I hope you had a good time. Even for AI enemies, yeah. Generally speaking, yeah, you're out of security at work. I used to work security. I used to work overnight security. I know exactly that feeling. Anybody who's ever worked a graveyard shift can tell you exactly what the number one thing that is a problem for graveyard shift is staying awake. And by staying awake, I don't mean like staying awake in terms of like not sleeping. I mean not being bored, because it's so dull. You'd be surprised how few anything happens, how little anything happens after a certain time. Paul Shelley Mall Cop. Kinda. My job was I came in at like 10 p.m., and I was there till 6 a.m. I think that's right. Yeah. Congrats on getting into a CitCon. Thank you, Rock Knight. It's all thanks to the community. Yeah, the hardest part for me was always the 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Luckily, it's how I discovered about one of my favorite guilty pleasures. And don't take this the wrong way. I liked listening to it because it was something to do. And when it was good, it was good. The problem is like 90% of the time it's awful. Garbage. It's not even fun to listen to. Which is Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast is a fantastically over-the-top, awful conspiracy radio, late-night conspiracy radio. Lots of interesting stuff. It is 100% scam artists and like insane shit. What was that old publication that had like Bat Boy and shit like that? It's that, but it's entertaining. It's definitely entertaining. Keeps your mind awake. Better than listening to music for that amount of hours. Weekly World News, thank you. Yeah. All right, I'll be right back, chat. Let me get some more agua. Sorry, 4 my bad. Learning, I hear you all. That's great. All I can say, CK, is I've been where you are as a security guard at 4 o'clock in the morning. It is not easy. Is that the National Enquirer? I don't know that. Pre-recorded live, yeah.
To democracy!
Two words. Distress bacon.
Good news, everyone!
Drugs.
I love democracy.
To democracy!
I'm Fly. I'm Pilot.
Weapons free, y'all.
Everybody and his dog calls himself an outlaw.
I love
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
Christian amount. Two words. Distress bacon.
I love democracy.
I'm Fly. I'm Pilot.
Drugs.
Mission complete.
Everyone.
Burrito I ate. There you go.
Two words. Distress bacon.
Probably ignored all these breaks in? Yes, I did. 100%. That's how this works. You caught me. You caught me.
I love democracy.
All right. I'll try this. Vehicle selection. Let's go for my old standby. Let's rent FR 66. Okay, vehicle weapons. Got a Revenant. Swap that out for a Rhino. And then Bulldog. All right. There we go. Superticos Correa, Endless Vandal Swarm. Let's do this, chat. This is offline mode. This is going to be slightly different.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
System is
Just kill me. Just fucking kill me. There we go. Jesus, that was instant. So yeah, missiles instantly kill you.
Congratulations. Target is destroyed. Is hit.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Congratulations. Target is destroyed. Contact. 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 Shield offline. Congratulations. Target is destroyed. Contact. Contact.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Shield system is hit. Contact. 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 Congratulations. Target is destroyed. Contact. Contact. Congratulations. Target is destroyed. Congratulations. Target is destroyed.
Warning. There are multiple
Shield
hostiles
offline.
inbound.
Contact. Congratulations. Target is destroyed. Contact. 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 Shield system is hit. Shield offline. Congratulations. Contact. Your flares are running low. You are out of flares. Contact. Missile locked. Contact. Contact. Shield offline.
Fudge.
Congratulations. Target is destroyed. Contact. Contact. Your chaff is running low. Contact. Congratulations.
Warning.
Target
There are
is
multiple
destroyed.
hostiles inbound.
Contact.
Yeah, there we go. Missiles are really powerful. Did Cap just say language? Well, it is a Jake ship. Yeah, no, the same thing would happen in a, holy fuck, there's a lot of these boys.
Your systems are online. Shield system is hit. Shield system is hit. Congratulations. Shield offline. Engines destroyed. Congratulations.
There's so many of these boys now. Oh, God.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Contact.
What do you mean there's multiple hostiles inbound? There are already multiple hostiles here! God, this is what it must have been felt like to fight in fucking the Battle of Vega 2. Holy fuck! Jesus! There we go. Woo! Wave 6, not bad. High FPS, though. I was got 100 and something FPS. 15 kills, 4 deaths. Took more than that took me out. More accurate Van Duel, yeah. That's what I felt like. Yeah, Buck is very good in master modes. It feels very responsive, too. I'll just say in general. We don't use words like fudge in this house. If you're getting good curse, go for gold. I mean, you probably could, but you'd have to switch to, you'd have to have an eye on them, and you'd also have to switch to the navigation mode. So, which would put you in more of a danger of getting hit by missiles. Like, you have to use countermeasures, which do work, but like, generally speaking, it's not always a good idea. In fact, I'm going to change the key bindings real quick. Don't really have anything else. Hey, Paul, didn't expect you tonight. I've been trying to get back on the Wednesday stuff. I'm not going to be on for much longer. I'm probably going to be another 30 minutes or so. So for the last 30 minutes, let's go to the bar and hang out for a bit. So, overall, my experience thus far with 3.23 in this latest patch is good. There's no crashes though, so I couldn't tell you if the recovery loop has been fixed, but let him cook. I think we're at the point where CIG probably needs to just wrap it up and push it out. If there was no Invictus, then yeah, I'd say leave it in Evocati leave it in the PTU for another week or so and push it out before the end of May. But there's definitely an incentive to push it out. So get it. It's not crashing massively. I'm sure there's still some other stuff that's going on in the background that we don't see, but. Kiosks were broken yesterday, but I note a new patch. Are they back up? Kiosks, item kiosks haven't worked at all unless they turned them back on. Are you talking about the kiosks to the just general kind of active kiosks? They work, yes. We're gonna get Xeno before Invictus. I couldn't tell you. Personally, I'd love for them to delay Evo, delay everything. My mic should be working now. Yeah, the shop terminals. Yeah, they were working. They're a little glitchy, but they were working. I think in the post about changes they're working on and issues they know with master modes, as missiles were listed there. Missiles are good, and I don't mind that they're accurate. I just wish you could shake them a little bit more because they kind of track you really well, and they're feels bads. In my mind, missiles should serve two purposes. One, instant go fuck yourself weapons, which should do what they do now, which basically instantly turn you into. They don't usually kill you outright, but they will soft death you instantly. Just knock your ship out instantly. But they should also be weapons that you can if you know how they function, you should be able to dodge them and get away from them. But as a result, you have to pay attention to them. So it's as a distraction. You fire a missile to get somebody so that they have to avoid the missile so they don't get hit, but then maybe fly into your guns or put them in a bad position for them to respond to you or something like that. I think that's where missiles should fit in the kind of like that sweet spot for missiles. Because missiles, you still want to have missiles that matter. You don't want missiles to be so overpowered that they become just used instantly. Because one of the biggest problems that happens is you fire a missile, you kill a target, instantly hit a target, you kill it, you're done, you move on to the next target and go. And having like countermeasures that work almost perfectly, great idea. I think it's a good way of saying, you know, hey, you can use your missile, but there's an active counter that can stop you. So using your missile needs to be like used effectively and sparingly. They seem a little broken right now, but I think that's mostly because you can't avoid them without chaff. Or without noise, I should say. They're decoys, I should say. Is what they are. They're not noise. Okay, I'm not gonna... I don't mean to say this as a means of saying, hey, you should do this, but... You say, hey, follow. You should follow anyways, but if you're enjoying this content, definitely. But I'm at 17,996 followers on Twitch. With YouTube, I'm at 6,015. Hey, it broke 6,000. Nice. So I'm 4 followers away from 18,000 followers. I suck at this. That's a really good name, actually. Thank you for that. It's weird that it hasn't updated. Missiles, Star System missiles are very much the missiles from the Freelancer game, in my opinion. I didn't play a lot of Freelancer, so I don't have that experience. 18,000 followers pretty big for a Star Citizen streamer? Not really. there are smaller streamers than I who have larger follower accounts, and you know, people who are much bigger than me that have much bigger. It's a big number for me, I think, because it's important. I've been doing this for a while, and 18,000 is pretty good. I'd love to have 20,000 before the end of the year, but we'll see. Sub-target lock missiles would work now with a dedicated missile operator, maybe. I'd love to see stuff like that. Anytime you can get more players involved in improving the efficiency and effectiveness of a multi-crew ship, I'm all for it. Because, again, I'm always a big fan of multi-crew ships having a lot of an impact on just like how... Moonmaster, thank you so much for that follow. I think we're now at like 2 away or 1 away. Yeah, 2 away. Made a Twitch account this week. I'll follow you now, and you'll be one closer. There we go. Oh, I definitely want to get. I mean, like I have shorts and stuff like that. I need to make more shorts. Like, to be honest, if you look at my, I'm gonna switch my account real quickly. My Astro Historian account is like 100 away from 30,000 subscribers, subscribers, because subscribers is the follow version of this stuff. So, like, I'm doing okay on that one. So. I also need to do more TikTok stuff as well. Missile's two biggest issues on the overall max range is far too short, and the tracking cone is far too big. The cone needs to be adjusted to about 60% of the current availability. I think I agree. I don't know. I think I generally understand the idea. The idea of it being too short range. Isn't it like 6K? Like 6 kilometers to track on? Or are you talking about like the short range is too short? Hey, Luna Maria. Thank you for that follow. So now I should be at like 1 left. .35 for max range. Yeah, it's a little short. I'd expect more like a 6 kilometer range, but I also expect 6 kilometer range to be an easy, like, get the shit out of here kind of thing. I think it's 1 more to go. Yeah, 1 more to go. 1 more to go to get 18K. I really hope they do something with missiles. They're in such a weird spot, and honestly, most always, as I've played it, there's the fact that the missiles are different mode now means you actually have to remember to switch, which is kind of that's a difficult ask in my experience. But yeah, I'm of the opinion that Star Citizen, the year of 2024 Star Citizen is going to be the dumpster fire of Star Citizen, and it's going to be the dumpster fire for us to hold hands around and sing campfire songs while we smell the burning garbage from the lit gigantic metal box that is Star Citizen. A dumpster fire that's not a bad dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire in the sense that it has to happen. 3.23 is not going to fix all the problems. It's still going to have all the bugs. It's still going to have all of the issues that Star Citizen still has, and those issues will not go away until Star Citizen releases its 1.0 release, and it probably won't even be fixed by 1.0, to be honest. And 4.0, when that comes out, will equally be a dumpster fire, but both of these patches are needed. First of all of the content from Squadron coming to Star Citizen is a big importance. This is the first push of this stuff in there. And we've seen a lot of stuff it's in the back burner. It's going to be brought forward because of it. You've also got a lot of the stuff for, I think things like the NPCs, the stuff they don't talk a lot about. NPC content is huge. All the stuff they've been working with NPCs, but also things like the back end, and that's the replication layer stuff. Like once that's in, it's needed for server meshing. As no philosopher has said, the quickest and easiest way to clean out the trash is to set it on fire. I will say that. Paul Shelley, philosopher. Kumbaya, indeed. And of course, 4.0 is going to be a dumpster fire of problems and bugs and other issues because it's a brand new system that none of us have been to extensively. So there's going to be some weird issues. Some areas of the system are going to be absolute bug-ridden messes and performance sinks. There'll be so many other problems that will pop up that CIG doesn't even know about because of server meshing. But server meshing is the tech they need to add in there, and a new system is an important addition. You need all of this. You need this because CIG needs to move beyond the need for basic like systems. Once 4.0 is out, CIG is at the stage where there is no fundamental technology that needs to be invented for the game to function. There's plenty of new technologies that could improve the gameplay experience and improve the overall play style of Star Citizen. And before anyone jumps there and says, "Oh, but Paul, you have forgotten the most important one." You have forgotten the quantum system, my good man. I didn't. The quantum system's in the game right now. It is. It runs all of the fuel prices. So by that point, everything will have been in fishing. Touche. Touche, Radar Echo. It's not an MMO unless it has fishing. So is 1.0 considered beta, or is it final product except for new content? We have no idea. The best way that I can describe 1.0 based off of what CIG has said is that it is the released version of Star Citizen, but they're not going to stop adding content to Star Citizen after 1.0. Yes. Well, does it require dynamic? We don't know. I'd almost certainly say yes. Back in the day, we're talking early Star Citizen, Wingman's Hangar, Wingman's Hangout sort of time. So 2013, 2014. This topic was brought up. And what they said back then was that they were going to release beta when they got 5 systems in the game. And they had all of the base features done and 5 systems in the game. And they were going to release, it was going to be what they called the MVP release, the minimum viable product release. So it would be the release of the game in sort of like a soft launch. They don't want to wipe anymore, but they're still going to add more content as they go through. Was Gundam Seed Freedom good? That's a good question. I'm glad you went to go see it as a mech fan, but Gundam Seed is always a mixed bag for me because I've always felt like Gundam Seed was the... I might be wrong on this one, but I'm pretty sure that Gundam Seed came out before Lelouch, right? I actually don't know her sales because they don't give us access. Her publisher hasn't given us access to any kind of data sales based off of what we've seen so far. By the way, if you have Cam's book and you've read it, please do leave a review. It would help a lot. Currently, there's only 3 reviews, but apparently the way that the algorithm works on YouTube, on Amazon is Amazon will start recommending books to people based off of reviews of 50 or more. So, so please do leave reviews. Last I checked, it had, at one point it had only 9 copies left and it only had 12 copies left. Now it's currently still good. It's $21. I think it's still in just delivery. It doesn't have the digital version yet, but I'm sure that's going to be out soon as well. So, wait on Kindle, yeah. The Kindle needs to come out soon. Code Geass was 2007. Okay, because if I remember correctly, when Geass came out, it was done by Sunrise as well, right? See, I've heard. My experience was the opposite. Seed was pretty good, and Seed Destiny was kind of. Oh no, I think it was the opposite. Yes, Seed was kind of awful, and Seed Destiny was okay. Yeah, there were some issues. I remember watching both of them, but I I'm a Iron Blooded Orphans and Witch from Mercury fan, but you know. No game is complete until it has grappling hooks and or fishing minigame. That's true. Yeah, baby! 08 MS Team, that's my favorite, honestly. Honestly, that is my favorite Gundam. My two favorite Gundams are... Oh, was it... Yeah, it was like G-Fighter Gundam. It's 08 MS Team and G-Fighter Gundam. It's the two extremes of the franchise, and I'm okay with that. The most real robot you will ever get, and the most super robot of Gundam will ever get. Yeah, 08 MS Team was Universal Century. But I've always felt like I've mixed feelings about Seed, because it always feels like Seed was the test case for Code Geass. Like Code Geass feels very much like the final version, the final form of Gundam Seed, because Gundam Seed was, for those of you who, okay, a little bit of mecha background. This is a sci-fi thing, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. Before Gundam Seed, the typical story plot lines of Gundam was war is bad. For those who don't know, Gundam is an anti-war series. Because it tricks you into thinking it's an action series, because it's about teenagers, plucky teenagers, piloting giant robots. But then you realize slowly over time that the enemies they're fighting aren't all monsters and are actually people. They're not just like cartoony villains. And you start to agree with them. And then you also start to see that some of the people on the good side are kind of awful pieces of shit. And then your own heroes start to get corrupted in war and start being traumatized by war. And there's not a single fucking Gundam character that doesn't end up with PTSD by the end of the series. That's just the rule. Every Gundam character ends up with PTSD. That is how that works. Iron-Blooded Orphans, the best take I've heard about the Iron-Blooded Orphans is that Iron-Blooded Orphans Season 2, which is not liked as much, is about being a Gundam. You're following a Gundam antagonist. Season 1, they're the protagonists, and Season 2, you're the antagonists. Or dead. It's so much fun. And the other side, it's anti-war, and the other side is space psychics. Space will all make us psychic and live in the age of Aquarius, because it was written in the 70s. When there was during the biggest economic boom in Japanese history, so there's a lot of hope for space exploration. That's why it's set in space. That's why most Gundams or series are set in like futuristic space with space colonies and stuff like that. The better ones start with PTSD. Yeah. Paul Seed and Wing were their attempts to bring more girls into the franchise and had some success. Yeah, that's my point. It's like, for those of you who don't know, that's the origin, but all of them were about war. Seed was not about war. Seed was about melodrama. It was take the Gundam formula of, it's like retelling the original Gundam story, which a lot of the spin-off series tell the original Universal Century story. And this was basically a retelling of the original story. You still have the politics and the backbiting and you even still have some of the psychic shit. But, a lot of the psychic shit actually. But then add drama. Add teenage angst and drama. That's what it is. It's a mecha. It's a rom-com. A rom-com. It's a melodrama, romantic. Yeah, a romantic melodrama. Pasted on top of a mecha Gundam series, which is the reason why so many people had problems with Seed afterwards, because it didn't feel like Gundam. It was a breath of fresh air and basically saved the franchise. But a lot of hardcore fans weren't really to it. But a dystopian space opera? Yeah, kind of. Perhaps you call it a space opera. Yeah, but not in the same the way. We've had conversations about how words don't matter. Like Star Citizen, what is Star Citizen? Define Star Citizen as a genre. Genres, I'm tired. Like genres are so convoluted. I hate genre conventions and genre naming because it makes no sense. In Japan, every Gundam series is a big deal. Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny are my generation. My first cosplay was the character Luna Maria from Seed, and became my nickname ever since. Oh, that's where it comes from. Mecha fan. No, Gundam is a huge deal in Japan. There's an entire like life-sized Gundam, the original Gundam that they remade, and it actually like it moves. It like moves around and has like different controls to it. Yeah, it was. I think they took it down recently. They were trying that this year, yeah. They actually built a full-size unicorn at one point too, yeah. They're making another. The only mech I ever got into was Voltron, and it felt so bad for those two in the feet. So, for those of you who don't know, there's two specific genres of mecha, especially from Japan, which is Super Robot, which is the older version of the genre, and those are things like Astro Boy, Big Robo, Giant Robo, the Sentai series, so things like Voltron and stuff like that. Those sorts of series, which are about, you know, super powered big robots that usually have their own sort of sentience, that sometimes are piloted by humans. And then there is Real Robot, and Real Robot is what Gundam pioneered, which is the idea of giant, what we think of in the West as mechs. So like what BattleTech was inspired by, all that kind of stuff, where you use it's a hardware, like they're walking tanks. That's the whole point. Big O, showtime. Yeah. Star Citizen is a fantasy space simulation of a space opera RPG. That's an interesting way of putting it. Because to me, Star Citizen's genre has always been space simulation, space opera simulation. Yeah, they all come with many different names, but yeah. Oh, I had to look up the character Luna Maria that you named yourself after, and my only thought is, she's the alcoholic, isn't she? She's the alcoholic captain of the ship, isn't she? The one who's like constantly gets constantly gets overshadowed by all the other ones, or is she? No, she's the one. She's the one who gets her own special suit, isn't it? I'm trying to remember, because I'm looking at the character and I'm like, she looks a lot of Seed's characters kind of jumble in my brain. Who am I thinking of? Who is the captain of the ship? Looking up her stats. She's a Zaku pilot. She's a Zaft pilot. Morai Ramius. Okay, yeah, Captain Ramius, yeah. The Red Zaku. The glorification of war, the focus on honor and usually a romantic view. That tends to not actually happen with Gundam. Like, the only thing that gets glorified in Gundam is like cool robots. But generally speaking, most real robot series are about the horrors of war. Like the awfulness of humanity. I don't see the opera aspects of Star Citizen yet, at least not heavily. It's mostly Caffeine Fiend. It's mostly with Star Citizen. Most of the space opera aspects are not in game yet. Most of it's the lore stuff. It's definitely an homage to what's been termed tape futurism, if I remember correctly. Tape futurism is the thing that that Halo is, for instance. It's this like 80s, it's everything runs on tapes sort of idea, where like VHS tapes. It's 80s, but 80s as if you were watching anime in the 80s and all of the space action movies. Oh, I love Blue Gender. Blue Gender, the director of Blue Gender, who also did Votoms and a couple other series, I've discovered is my favorite. He's my favorite mecha director. It's sort of retrofuturism, but like it's a specific version of retrofuturism. Tape. Okay. So cassette futurism is what it's called. Technological aesthetic reminiscent of the mid-70s to late 1990s tech, regardless of time and media, as codified by early computers. Whether it be bold colors and geometric shapes, the tendency towards stark plainness, or the exotic-looking computers and proto-cell phones. It is clear that this is neither ray-gun gothic of the days past, nor everything is an iPod in the future aesthetic that would follow, but bridging point that contains elements of both styles. As the name implies, it's a good way to judge if a trope is present in future use of cassettes, which are used in the decades above. If you look, a great way of looking at Star Citizen as cassette futurism is look at the key cards. The hacking chips we have are floppy disks. They're future floppy disks. That's all they are. Are we getting credit chips at some point? That they've definitely mentioned it. I would say another example of cassette futurism is Starfield. Starfield is very much cassette futurism. And I think Elite Dangerous straddles the line between cassette futurism and everything is an iPad. Because everything is very similar in Elite Dangerous, but because Elite Dangerous and Elite in general comes from the 80s, it comes from where this trope was originated in the first place, it makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, Shadowrun is a good example of it. Blade Runner, Aliens, and Alien. I'm trying to think of the other ones. A lot of anime from that time period. I think Ava is like the ultimate extension of that. But like a lot of the mecha series from that time period. Hey Paul, do you think we'll ever get custom colors in Star Citizen? Not a clue. I couldn't tell you. If CIG is making money off of selling $5 for red, then they'll keep doing that. The first few Batman movies are kind of more like the gothic aesthetic. Yeah, RoboCop's another good example. But yeah, Star Citizen is cassette futurism. I've been calling it like the story themes are definitely I've called it grim punk. It's I think a lot of people would call it, because there's like a spectrum for like noble bright versus grim dark. And Star Citizen tends towards the middle of that spectrum, but it heavily relies on the aesthetics and storytelling of cyberpunk. Yeah, Pitch Black is a good example. With CIG's recent messages, likely do you think the new patch will be released? How likely do you think? What's the most recent messages? Go to Comlink, nope, community. Community, Spectrum, go. Ooh, thank you, Hide and Mighty. On Reddit. Can't go live. We need that fix. We don't want all of you running into that severe issue. We've worked too hard on that release to let this issue mess with live. What's the issue though? I'd have to look up the definitions of grim dark and noble dark. I'm not an expert on those sorts of things. I know that noble bright is what you would say. The heroes are good. The universe is good. Good will triumph over evil. Grim dark is like the universe sucks. Everyone sucks. Everyone is evil. And I think a lot of people say Age of Sigmar is like grim bright, where like the universe doesn't suck. Or the universe sucks, but there is hope. Whereas like 40K is I like looking into these genres just to kind of understand it, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert at all genres. Okay, so here's the list that I can find. Here's a good one. All right, Noble Bright, a world that is worth saving with characters able to step up and do just that. Both cause and struggle are meaningful in this world. Bright presents a world where most people are decent and society as a whole is positive and the world worth saving. Grim Bright, the world is a good place that ought to be maintained and protected, but is going to have a brutally uphill battle. Heroes suffer and die so peace and decency may be maintained. Noble, belief in the power of individual to change their world for the better through heroics and expressed through human decency. True neutral, kind of middle. Grim, accomplishments are fleeting. Even the momentary gains are only achieved through pain and suffering on the part of the characters. Noble dark, I think that's what what AOS has described. The world is a pretty shit place, but good people are trying hard enough to change that, and there's lots of ground to cover, but maybe too much for one story. But the ability at least to start covering it is there. I would say Star Citizen falls into Noble Dark, into that category. There are good people, but the universe sucks. It looks awful, and there's going to be a lot of problems in the universe until it gets solved. It's a noble yeah, it might be grim, because it is also like it straddles the line between grim and noble dark. Like just pure grim and noble dark. Yeah, Noble Dark is the world sucks, but there's hope. Dark is the world sucks. People in society are bad. A world is in need of change. So like Batman is dark. Like Gotham is fundamentally fucked, and you need change. And then Grimdark is the world is a terrible. And your chances of doing anything about it. Expect senseless suffering and futile, costly striving in any positive endeavor. I wouldn't say Star Citizen's grimdark. It's not that bad. But I wouldn't say, like, I'm going to be very clear on this when it comes to Star Citizen's narrative strikes. The world isn't hopeless, but no one is going to save the UEE. The Empire will fall. How and when it will fall, and how in what way it will fall, and who picks up the pieces afterwards is up for debate. And that's where the players step in. But the story has always been, this is the end of the Roman Empire. The Empire fell to an injury. The end of the Western Roman Empire. True. The stories behind Star Citizen are a lot more complicated than just it's the Roman Empire in space, though a lot of people like to say that. That was its kind of base idea, and it's kind of built off from there. But I do think the main thrust of the Star Citizen narrative is the end of a dying empire. The Empire is at a stage where things are really bad. And things could get better. But there's so much bad in the Empire that it's so hard to see it change, to improve. And it'll be up to the players to determine what can change. But the reality is that the way the UEE currently functions in the universe of Star Citizen, it cannot stay the same. Either the UEE will transform into something different and better, or it will fall. That's the story angle. What's bad in the Empire? Name one thing. The entirety of the Centralist Party. Hurston. The fact that Hurston is allowed to exist in the way it is. They also run the entirety of the like antimatter facilities, and all of like the main, like a lot of weapons and missiles are being that the UE uses come from Hurston. I already named two things. The citizenship system is awful. It creates a tiered system where people who are not citizens like kind of legitimately do not have a chance to improve in society. It makes it harder for them to form multi-system corporations. They aren't seen as the same. They're not given the same rights and responsibilities. In theory, everyone has the same human rights or same universal rights, but in practice, citizens get favored on a lot of different things. And the only way you can get citizenship is if the UEE decides you do. It's not if you can't check off a list and do something. You can check off every list in the box, including serving in the military, and still be turned down for citizenship in Star Citizen. Honestly, the writers messed up with the Mezzers, a hereditary monarchy. No one would go for that, especially since society never went feudal. Glowpock, can I present to you the British Empire? Britain is still a monarchy. It still has a lot of soft power as well. Also, North Korea is a hereditary monarchy. There are plenty of hereditary monarchies even today. Half of Europe still has monarchies, usually figureheads, but... And the thing is that in reality, if you look at the lore, it really there was really a feudalism sort of thing going on. The people who got control of their various planetary systems were friends of the Mezzers. So the Mezzers kind of divided the empire into little fiefdoms that they gave to their friends. And those fiefdoms answered to the Mezzers. That's one of the reasons why the Anthony Tanaka thing happened. Because the person who was in charge of the system and the plant where Anthony Tanaka worked was the brother-in-law, I think, of the Imperator. In fact, the company that was terraforming what was it? The planet that had the sentient species on it. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but that whole event, that company was owned by the cousin of the Imperator. So. I get the understanding. The idea that I think it's the idea that having a monarchy, hereditary monarchy, doesn't make a lot of sense in the future, but humans like to go back to what we know. And the reality is that Mezzers were never popular. They were never popular. Not even when they got power were they popular. They manipulated the public into being afraid and then took power. And then used the inherited monarchy because they controlled the military. The military was loyal to the Mezzers. Which, again, is often when you look at dictators and hereditary monarchies that exist, why they have powers because they have the weapons. If they control the military and they control the structures like the advocacy, which was the police forces, you're not going to do anything. Yeah, I don't think players will be rejected for citizenship. But in terms of narrative speaking, in terms of storytelling, the rejection of citizenship is still a thing that can happen. So service does not guarantee citizenship. You have to do the right things and know the right people and grease the right palms to get your citizenship. And if you'll notice, that's a lot of the people who are citizens because their parents were citizens and they knew what you did and how to get there. So there is actually a upper crust. Citizenship is like an earnable lordship. It's like an earnable title. The reality is that the UEE is a feudal system. It's just they allow the average peasants to gain noble titles, which is what we call citizenship. The second I can in 10 years, I'm gonna bust through Xeon space looking for the bug boys. Oh, the Oh, what are they called? The Kathak? Yeah. I think they may have lured themselves into a problem. When Rome broke apart, so did all the infrastructure, the currency, the law, the armies and navies. That's a lot of work on CG to come up with all these new faction economies and etc. I don't think it's something that they'll do right away. I do think that that's something they'll do over time. And like I said, it's not a 1-for-1 for Rome. That was just the inspiration behind it. So Star Citizen might as well otherwise be called Star Lord. Becky. Thank you for that raid, Becky. Welcome everyone from Becky's stream. My name is Paul Berserker1 Batman. Host and Spacebar at the AstroPub, your Spacebar thing on Twitch. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. We're just wrapping up here, so it might be a few minutes, a few more. But how's your stream? It's going good here. I have purchased my plane ticket and I have applied for my passport, so I am going to CitizenCon this year. So yay! We were talking about some of the themes in Star Citizen story. For those of you who don't know, I cover a lot of Star Citizen lore, and one of the videos I'm going to be making here in the near future is my kind of take on that. That's the Star Citizen universe is actually, it kind of sucks in the sense that like living in the Star Citizen universe would be awful for anyone but players. Because of the kind of status that people have, the tiered citizenship system and how it functions and all that sort of stuff. So, oh, by the way, Paul, we have a new project that beats Star Citizen development length. Gundam Seed Freedom movie took 18 years. Really? It was mentioned in the director interview before the movie started. Whew. But never forget, while the revolution overthrew the Mezzers, all the court of their assistants and henchmen, CEOs, corps, ministers, and government and generals, admins, are still hiding in the background and still steering the empire. To a degree, I do think that there was a big purge, so those people who were very loud and in front of things got axed. But I could definitely see plenty of colonels who managed to get that suddenly get catapulted to general because they turned coat at the right time. They backed the right horse at the right time, even though they might be, awful war criminals. I would say I've seen comparisons in the Star Citizen universe to like the early 40K universe. So like the early start of the dark age of technology, where humanity's just starting to reach out into the universe, where there's still hope, technology is still king, but, obviously AI is still entirely fucked and will kill everybody. Star Citizen is 22 years if you count Kickstarter. Are you high, Miner? What math is that? Star Citizen started in 2012. So it's at best 12 years, not 22 years. I think that might have been a mistake there, but I think someone may have just added an extra 10. I mean, I could see Star Citizen still being in development in 10 years. I do think that CIG is going to push this 1.0 thing in maybe, 2026, 2027. The fact that they're talking about it. Listen, COVID does count as a century. At least a decade. Why aren't we seeing nameable ships released? That's actually a good point, good question. But I do think that the main reason is because they just don't have time. They've said that the reason why they did the nameable ships thing when they did was because they had time between projects, and so they had an idea that they wanted to do for it, and they wanted to test it out in certain ships. And they tested it out, and it failed. The naming system in Star Citizen failed. So they have to go back and build it from scratch again. But that team is also in charge of doing things like, other ship stuff that they have to do. So there's probably more important factors. Like that team was, I don't know, might be working on things like the resource system or engineering. They could be working on other ship features and other ship stuff, or maybe even like patch or what are they called? Skins. They sell a lot of them. So yeah. Minor Mike is Doc Brown coming back from the future to tell us about it. So the Banu are not really Egyptians and Phoenicians. I would say the Banu are more Bedouins and say Arabians. They're more of the Arabian sort of feel. They're kind of nomadic traders. They're very disparate and kind of broken. The Xi'an are, China is a big comparison, but it's actually, I would say it's a combination of China and Persia. The Phoenicians are actually the Devaran. They're Carthage. Like they are, Devaran are 100% Carthage. That is, they're Carthaginians, like to a T. They are Carthage. 2 wars, both fought and lost, absorbed into the empire, different stuff, Yeah, that's kind of their influence. And the Vandal are obviously the Germans. The Vandals. See, I didn't even try with those names. Did it only fail because the typography of ships, i.e. couldn't read them? You couldn't read them. It doesn't adjust to the different skin changes, and it's the way where it was placed has to be more dynamic. They don't want to have to like custom rig every ship to use the system that they built because it didn't flow properly. So what they want to do is build a system that can have a name that can scale so you can see it based off the size, that it can be seen in every single skin configuration you can do, and the one that they don't have to like bake in for every single ship and every single skin that ship could have, because it's really complicated. So it didn't work the way they were building it, so they want to go back and fix that system so it works better. That's it. No, it's not too late to try to obtain the F7A. As long as you get in before 3.23 goes live. And even when 3.23 goes live, they said you can still do the overdrive missions up until Xenothreat releases. We don't know when that is. Yeah, the Vandal of the Vandals. It's in the name. It's literally in the name. Germanic steppe, or, steppe peoples. They're kind of a stand-in for all of the barbarian tribes of the West, the East. I think it's just Mission 5, Paul. Yeah, Mission 1 through Mission 5. But that doesn't necessarily give you an F7A Mark II. It gives you an upgrade for free to the F7A Mark II from the F7C Mark II. So you still need the F7C to have it. No, I agree, Luna. It's definitely something that's I'd love to see them focus on a little. And there are some ships you can purchase that you can get names on them. It's the 890, the Carrack, the Corsair, the 600, the Reclaimer, and the Mercury Star Runner. Those are the 6 ships you could name. Oh, and the Hammerhead. 7 ships you can name. And the Corsair is a technical. You can only name it if you pre-order, if you got the original pledge with the name on it. No, the Corsair has nameable. If you got the original pledge, the original pre-release pledge with the Corsair in it, you can name, and you've named your ship, the name will appear on your ship. Yeah. You didn't realize because it's broken. Because the system is tiny. You can barely read it. Yeah, it doesn't work if you CCU to it. It only works if you purchase it and if you pre-purchased it, I believe. So. Oh, Overdrive 1 through 4 will not be in game at 3.23? Because if I remember correctly, last I saw it was 1 through 5 was still going to be there. Can you get me the link that says that, Velocity? Oh, yeah, no. The UE is not falling right when Star Citizen launches. The CIG needs to have A, all of the systems in, and B, more storytelling than they currently do in-game. Have a good night, Glass. Yeah, feel free to find it, because that's a big one. Because the Spectrum post that I saw with it was said that all of them will be available 1 through 5. That 5 would still be available until 3.23, until the Xenothreat version 6 came out. When Xenothreat comes out, then it will no longer be available. They've had phase 1 through 4 on the PTU for on occasion. Okay, so I think that's good. Yeah, my MSR is named the Prince of no. It's the Prince of Prussia? King of Prussia, I think is what it's called. Yeah, King of Prussia. Prince of Persia, yeah. No. It's Prussia, but it's like King of Prussia, I think. It's called the King of Prussia, and then my Carrack is named the Ryoma. Sakamoto, named after Sakamoto Ryoma. Weird, awesome, bonkers dude in Japanese history. Yeah, after them all, King of Prussia. Well, it's actually, where that name actually comes from itself is from a place in England called King of Prussia. And the King of Prussia was a ship that would go into this certain cove and smuggle in goods during the mercantile era. So it would be this ship that would go to like different parts of Europe and then come back and then like offload their goods at this cove. So you could go to this cove and buy goods that were technically illegal because they didn't pay any taxes on them. And so that cove became known as the King of Prussia Cove, which is where that name comes from originally. That's why I took the name King of Prussia, because it's actually named after a smuggling ship. Kaiserlacht. I have ideas for my other names for my other ships, but I haven't got them yet. I haven't gotten them locked down yet. I don't like CIG's naming system. For those of you who don't know how the naming system works at CIG, for Star Citizen, only one person can have a specific name for a specific ship. So, if you got the Enterprise, for instance, on your Carrack, no other ship can be called the Enterprise. No other Carrack can be called the Enterprise. But an MSR could be called the Enterprise. It's stupid. the thing is that CIG also has a unique ID code that is attached to every hull. And that ID code is actually printed on your ship. Everyone can see it. You have it on your ship right now. If you went and booted up your game, you could find the ID code of your ship on your ship. Every ship has them. It's effectively what the CIG has internally, I think, is what they're using. And every new ship that's purchased or made has a new ID code. It's kind of like a VIN number for cars in the United States. And that already exists. So if someone named their ship the Enterprise, if 15 people named their ship the Enterprise, their Cutlass the Enterprise, each of those Cutlasses would have a different VIN number. The code changes when you claim your ship because it's a brand new ship. Because that's in the mechanics of the universe, you're getting a brand new ship, not your old ship coming back. It's a brand new ship that comes back. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Xenothreat before Invictus. CIG is chasing down some nasty bugs that they refuse to release until they get those done, which props to CIG for doing that. And I think that's going to cause a hard decision on when they're going to release Xeno, and I think the answer is probably post Invictus. The name will show up in scans, but so will the ID code. It's a dumb FOMO tactic, in my opinion, because they could. Elite Dangerous allows you to name whatever ship, whatever the fuck you want. You could have 15 Eagles that are all named the Eagle. This isn't like the way that they pitched it is entirely marketing. It's marketing, and it doesn't feel very game designy. And if it's a game design decision, the decision is entirely bad. Like, I don't understand the decision behind it. They're like, well, ships can have reputations, and they want ships to have an infamy behind them. So it would take away if everyone could name their ship the Revenge. Yeah, but there's only one Revenge. And everyone's going to know what that fucking ship is. Because they're going to know. Like, and I always use the argument of the Enterprise. When I say the Enterprise, what comes to mind? I know it's even with Star Trek, but like maybe not even Star Trek. When I say the Enterprise, that can mean a lot of different ships. For some people, it's the Enterprise aircraft carrier, and that has a unique number to it, right? Those people who know the Enterprise carrier, it has a unique. I don't know what they call it in the Navy, but it has a unique kind of number behind it, and like a letter number combination. CVN 65, yeah, CV. It could be the space shuttle. Yeah, when that new Enterprise carrier is being built, which is a Ford class, it's going to be called CV something else, like CV 23 or whatever. Yeah. Or CVN 80. Yeah. CVN 60, CVN 80. And in Star Trek, it's the same thing. There is the Enterprise, but they all have NC, NCC, and then they have different, 1701. And there's 1701 A, B, C, D. There's different names for them. And like if I say the Enterprise, some people will say CVN 60 or CVN 65 or NCC 1701D. No bloody A, B, C, or D. You get what I mean, though? Like, people, I think CIG is going, whoa, well, names. It's like, people remember numbers as well as names. You have a unique identifying code with it. If the that ship that still exists, that is the Revenge, the Cutlass, the Revenge, and it has, you know, UC 63. The Revenge, or which Revenge? The UC 63. Oh, fuck me, I'm dead. You know, kind of thing. CV stands for aircraft carrier. Yeah. I know they each there's different names that go for different ships. I know that too. UC 1337. Yeah, I know, but I got rated. That's the reason why I was. I've been going up a little bit longer. But it is a good point. I need to go to bed because it is 10:30 here. I do have to go to work tomorrow. I take work off today, but it was really nice. But by the way, y'all, I'm still at $17.99. So if you enjoyed yourself, this conversation, or if you like Star Citizen in general, please hit that follow button if you haven't already done so. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot, and it'll help you to know when I'm live. And we're currently at 17,999 followers. And Jetflyer, you are now the 18,000th follower. Congratulations, Jetflyer. You have that privilege. You have that title. That's what they do right now, Firestarter. They limit the named clones to just one for each type of ship. That's how that works. You thought you were already following? The best type of follow. BB is battleship, CV is carrier vehicle, CA is cruiser, heavy cruiser, CL is light cruiser, DD is destroyer, SS is submarine, submersible. Yeah. I think even the UEE Navy has something similar to that, but yeah. But that, my point being, generally speaking, I think they could loosen up on that and just have an identifier code that would could be shortened. Battle station specific to help me learn naval units. I know they exist. Like a lot of things in the world. Like, I'm a historian by trade. I'm a history teacher. I also teach social studies. I can tell you lots of different things about history and about government or economics. I couldn't remember everything accurately from the top of my head all the time, but I can get close to it and know enough to be dangerous, know enough to be able to research more in depth. So, you're going to name your Aurora Harry Kim. Are you then going to constantly torture it, Cupan? What's the code for pedal-powered swan boats? FU. And with that, thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow for some office hours, where we're going to read the Squadron 42 monthly report. I did accidentally release the Star Citizen monthly report earlier than I wanted to. I was trying to release it on a Monday, and I ended up releasing it on a Sunday. Right after Captain's Table, and I don't know if it's not doing very well, but that's how it is. So if you wanted to know the latest monthly report, check that out. It's on the YouTube. But we'll be live tomorrow on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Twitch.tv/TheAstroPub, YouTube.com/TheAstroPub, and it'll be on a little earlier on Fridays. I go live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, to stream with Loken. We do some co-op games and other stuff, Star Citizen, but we also have been doing Helldivers, and we'll probably do some MechWarrior Online, and lots of cool stuff like that. So, and Saturday should be Captain's Table. I do have to pull a crew together. I'll see if I can pull some crews together to talk about it. And then Sunday, I do group gameplay with usually my organization, the League of Relic Enthusiasts, and we'll probably do our first League expedition for 3.23 if it's up by then. But and again, starting May 27th, my schedule's going to change a little bit. I'm actually going to be streaming a little earlier on Mondays and like Monday mornings, because I'll be doing some painting streams, because I do minis. So I have Warhammer. I also have Star Citizen minis made by JRDF. I even have some Star Wars Legion stuff to paint and put together and stuff like that. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, I'll be doing that live on Mondays, and I'll probably be streaming kind of a little bit longer, generally speaking, starting at the end of May. So check it out. Arena's getting better? Thank you. Mic dropped. Well, I have to go to bed anyways. All right. Thank you all. Love your faces. And like I say every time, hope to see you someday.